Okay, so I want to talk about something. It's something I said that was going to happen on my Divine Beingness channel. I talked about this maybe 4 years ago. I said this would happen. I only did one upload though. I said the new victims. So be careful because the new victims are going to be brown women. Those are going to be the new victims. Now when I talk about victims, I'm talking specifically about the media portraying brown women the way they used to portray brown men as always being killed by white men. I feel like, I'm just going to sidebar just for a second and say this. I feel like it would have been more empowering. Thank you. I feel like it would have been more empowering for brown men to just go on and admit that they kill each other way more than any white man ever could. Now, when I say that, see, that sounds like bashing, and that's the reason why that mentality is bad, and it's a mentality that the collective will never rise up in power. Only a few with the mind to think for themselves. Because if they would have just admitted that they kill each other far more than a white man ever could, that would have empowered them more, because then they would have known to take accountability for it. But see, blaming the white man on everything and blaming white supremacy on everything robs people of accountability. It robs them of accountability. Now, I'm not talking about this crazy stuff that individual people do with the child, the children, the same thing with brown women, the same thing with the neighborhood, the children, child support. I'm not talking about stuff like that. People want to get. I'm not talking about no personal stuff that people choose to do with their individual lives. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about as a collective, had brown men just went on and said, we kill each other far more than any white man could. That would have given you power over the white man. That would have made you more powerful than the white man. But constantly, the media constantly portraying the brown man always, actually media portrays brown men getting killed by brown men, honestly. But then media wants to push a narrative that the white man is always after the brown man. That's the narrative that media want to push, when actually we see all the time that actually they do. I mean, media even shows that, it's a lot more gang violence going on in neighborhoods, drive-by shootings. Now I want to get to brown women, about how I said this was going to happen. The same thing they did with the Trayvon Martin, the Mike Brown, and all these other guys. I said it's going to come a time when the tables are going to turn. They're going to have brown women with that mentality. They're going to have brown women playing that victim mentality, according to how they want the narrative to be. Okay? Not certain people that want to be victims. I'm talking about according to how media wants to spin it. Okay? And they got this stuff going on. I guess I was briefly looking at somebody that was talking about some Tranquilla Robinson press conference. I really have yet to even view this woman's video of her being killed and beaten and stuff, because I see what they do when they like to show these things. They like to traumatize people like that. They do this with brown men. They do this with brown women. They like to traumatize people. They show you these images of just constantly getting beat. When have you ever seen images of a white person, white man or white woman? I knew it. Why do I do that? When have you ever seen images of a white man or white woman? You constantly see them on camera. You see them laying dead somewhere like they did Kanika Jenkins. Whoever's body that was, but that could have been the real her. The other images and the actresses that they showed, I don't believe was her, but those images might have been the real person laid to the side, But when have they showed Mike Brown out laying in the street bloody for hours, 4 hours? What does that mean? Was it 4 hours that he was laying out in the street bloody with a sheet on him? Who else? They're constantly showing this image of Emmett Till disfigured. Okay? I would like to know what other group of people, not just the white man and the white woman, what other group of people, and you know what, I'm going to have to remind myself right now not to take this too seriously because it's a simulation. The problem with the simulation in the game is you got to make sure you don't die in it. But it's not just about dying in it. I have my way of death. This is death, and life is actually knowing the truth. You're not living until you really know the truth anyway. This is death in an illusion. Completely in an illusion. That's actually death to me. But anyway, so I'm supposed to turn left. Who else in the world will you see on a nationwide platform, they lying somewhere dead, being beaten to death? I'm talking about on a nationwide platform, because in these other cultures, in these other countries, it's no telling what kind of media they choose to show things on. You know what I mean? It's no telling what they choose to show on their particular media, their local media, okay? I'm talking about on a nationwide platform. They make sure to show brown people in general getting beaten to death and lying somewhere dead for hours, lying somewhere in the freezer, lying somewhere on the street bloody with a sheet on them, getting choked to death. That's the images they want to put out. Because I honestly, like I said, I'm aware this is a simulation, so ain't nothing really true. It's a simulation, ain't nothing happening. But we take it seriously because this is where our point of attention is. We interact with it and we keep acting like it's real when it's really not, but we keep acting like it's real. And it is real until you completely wake all the way up. And when you wake all the way up, you will no longer be here. So when people say they woke, like, you're partially woke to what the truth is, but you're not completely woke, because you wouldn't be here unless you choose to be here. So you're not all the way awake, you're still sleeping and dreaming somewhere else. The real you was somewhere imagining this, you know, or dreaming it, observing it. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I wanted to say. There's nobody else that they want to show that, even if this is a simulation. It's a simulation it's designed like that. And they show a particular group of people. It's not just about the African. They're not doing that to Africans. They're doing this to brown Americans. That's who they're doing it to. They're not doing it to Africans. God, that's what happens when it gets hot. Anyway, so I want to talk about how now they starting this no justice, no peace with the brown woman, and they're using Shanquella Robinson. You know why I never paid attention to Shanquella Robinson? Because I saw this coming. I said, this to me seems like some kind of stuff that media wants to push. And so I never looked into Shanquella Robinson, because I saw that this is going to be some mess that media wants to push to get people started with the bullshit again. So I just never pay attention to it. I know it sounds wrong. No, it's not wrong. I'm tired of, you know, some people just want you to keep falling for the same shit over and over again. And if you refuse to do it, you ain't right. You got self-hate. You know, that's why I don't like humanity. This is why, because humanity don't like truth. So don't save people like that. They don't like the truth. I wouldn't do no light work for a group of people that hate the fucking truth. I wouldn't do no light type of work. I don't believe in light working, because light working means that you kind of keep the simulation going, that you helping the simulation. You helping the false light. To me, that's what light working is. But that's just me. I know when people that call themselves doing it, they see it in a different way. They want to just help humanity. Humanity needs to be comfortable with the fucking truth. I ain't fucking light working for nobody, for humanity, because that's what the light working. You want to help humanity, but fuck humanity until they fucking respect the fucking truth. Fuck them. That's what I gotta say to them, because they react the same goddamn way every time the same shit happen. These motherfuckers, I know it's an election happening. I haven't even watched that. I haven't listened to no debates. It's just a couple of people that talk to me, or just one really, that he fucking hate the Democrats, and he talking about how they treat Donald Trump. And so that's the only reason why I know shit is happening. I don't watch that stuff. It's pure entertainment. It's all fake anyway. So choose your poison. Pick your poison. Everything is fucking fake, so pick your poison. Okay? Pick your fucking poison. Everything is fake. No, I don't want to pay attention to that. But see, the point of attention is in a simulation where these motherfuckers run things. So, but your vote don't fucking count. That's why I'm paying no attention to it, because the vote don't fucking matter no way. I don't know how many times I have to be proven. See, people continue to act the same way every fucking time, even though election after election is proven that you have no power. Election after election is proven that you have no power. Your vote doesn't mean nothing. It's constantly proven. Yet they react the same fucking way. They're programmed to hate the truth. People are programmed to hate the truth. I wouldn't like work for a motherfucking society like that, because they need to learn. They need to learn how to respect it. I'm not saying accept it. Truth needs to be fucking respected. It needs to be respected. And motherfuckers don't respect the truth. Look at the biggest channels out here. Look at some of the biggest channels out here. And I understand YouTube pushes them too, because they want to push the lies to keep certain people in power. They got to keep a lie going, because that's how certain entities stay in power. But people, I think for the most part, a lot of people have a right to choose if they want the truth or not. Okay? And if the people can't choose for themselves whether they want the truth or not, and only a few people can choose whether they want the truth, then I don't know if you want to be in a simulation like that. If the people don't want the truth because they can't help it, because they ain't got no control, and they have to accept whatever program is given to them, then I don't know if you want that kind of simulation. But anyway, yeah, I'm about done with this. Back to this lady. They're doing the same thing they did with brown men. I think they finally let the brown men go after pushing this mess with brown men for on media alone now. On media alone, they've been pushing this mess with brown men for, really mostly since Rodney King. And they've been getting good responses. It's always really been for money. Nobody actually cared about the people who were brutalized for real. It was all about the money. But I think that the crowd is not responding the way they used to respond when stuff happened to brown men. So now they're bringing brown women, and they're going to try to pick it up from there and see how it does. And you know what? I realize that it's a mantra going around to say brown women are most unprotected, most neglected. But you know what? I hope a lot of people don't pay much attention to this. Don't give a lot of attention to this Sanquilla stuff. But see, they got a lot of major players involved in all this stuff too. But it's not enough to keep this bullshit going like they did brown men, because they got everybody involved with brown men. They got all kinds of celebrities involved. They got the president involved, and everybody was involved when it was brown men. I really hope that that the brown women in this case don't get that much attention, because it's the wrong fucking attention. It's the wrong kind of attention. You don't want that kind of attention. So I really hope that people don't pay attention so this shit can go away. It just can go to hell away. Because when the media wants to push something, it's no good. And this is around election time, so they want to raise some damn money. So probably be prepared to see some other stuff happen as a fucking ritual to maybe another brown woman. They probably want to do it to a brown man. Well, they did it to George Floyd. Okay, they did it to George Floyd. Raised a lot of money, but his family ain't see that shit. Whoever George Floyd is, because I don't know if that man we saw on camera, I'm not sure if that's George Floyd. People got to be careful with the kind of stuff they hallucinate when they think, well, I spoke to his spirit. You better be careful with the type of stuff that you believe, because you saw what this supposed George Floyd looked like on camera. So you're going to believe that you actually seeing him on the other side, because that's what you saw on TV. Do you really understand how deceptive, I'm going to say, the heart is? And I say that for a reason. The heart is deceptive. You really understand how deceptive that is? That's why I don't really care for the third eye. That shit can be deceptive, because you're in an imaginary world. You're in a fake world. You're still seeing stuff that's not real. I see a lot of the third eye, and I try to close it, not close it, but try not to look at it because I still know it's all an illusion. So I still try not to give it too much of my attention. The real eye is fucking shut. The real eye is shut. Because if anybody really saw what they real eyes and not the third eye, but they real eyes, they wouldn't be in a world like this. They would be in the real world. Why would you want to continue to stay in a fake world when you see in the real world with your real eyes? Because most people, real eyes are shut. Your real eyes are going to be shut until you really wake all the way up from your dream, from your sleep. You know, what most people think they see with their third eye is that mind's eye, and the mind's eye is that computer. It's all powered by a computer. Yeah. I just really don't want this bullshit to happen, but they're going to keep trying to push it because this is how they raise their money. I think a lot of that money they raised for George Floyd, I think it went to the Democrats. What happened was this person I was talking to that was pissed off that Donald Trump lost, but he knows Donald Trump had more votes, and that's why I kept saying your vote don't freaking matter, because he had more votes. But I think the Democrats had more money. How did they get more money? George Floyd, or whoever that person using the name of George Floyd. It was a couple of people that went on social media, Facebook. I didn't see them, but I heard about them. I saw where they made a Facebook post, but their page was removed. But they kept saying that wasn't the real George Floyd, and the real George Floyd died maybe a year ago. You see, that's why I don't be paying attention to that stuff. So, but you know, using the character of a George Floyd. Yeah, using that character, that person. I'm making sure I ain't past my turn. Okay. Anyway, yeah. And they raised what, about $20 million or more because of George Floyd? Raised about $20 million or more? That could be how the Democrats got it because of the fucking money. But also, Biden was already chosen because Biden was more controllable than Trump was. See, there's people that's bigger than the president. I don't have faith in the president because I know that ultimately they're not the ones that's in charge. So it's no need of me having faith in the president if they're not really the one in charge. They're not like the king of a particular country where the king gets the last word. No, they're not that. There are people that's over the president that makes the last decisions, not the president. The president have to do what they're told. Now, Donald Trump is not the kind of one to be told what to do. I think Donald Trump in his makeup, I feel like he's a dictator himself. So even though there would have been people above Donald Trump, I feel like he's not the one to really be told what to do. Not too much. I think he plays the game enough, but I think he is. To me, I feel like Donald Trump is a dictator himself. Okay, and so with him probably having that kind of mind of being a dictator, he wants things to go his way too. He wants things to go his way too. He has the same mind of the fucking Nazis, and I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying that's how I see it. Is that he got the same fucking mind of the people that want to run things and the controllers of the world, and other people listen to him do what they say. Donald Trump got that same kind of mentality, so he's not going to listen to them too much if he got the same kind of mentality they have. They want to rule and he wants to rule, so he's not going to just back down to him. Joe Biden is controllable. He's not even just controllable. He's more easily to mind control. He's infiltratable. Something was able to completely take over his, take the real person out and completely take over his body. That might not have been that easy to do with Trump. Okay. But yeah, anyway, yeah, so this could be an attempt. I really hope nothing happens to another brown woman, but I feel like they about to get ready for something to happen to another brown woman, because I think the responses have lowered when it comes to these brown men. I think the responses have lowered because there's been a few brown men that has been killed or stuff, and I think people are just not paying any attention anymore. But that's because of Black Lives Matter. They calmed down. They stopped. I think George Soros served his purpose, and I think since George Soros kind of served his purpose with the Black Lives Matter, I don't think that's going to be going anymore. But if it comes back up, people are going to, once again, that's humanity's fault, because why pay attention to that coming back up after you already saw that folks were stealing, people within that organization was taking the money and not helping people's families. They were taking the money for themselves. You've seen that, you heard it. I think media want to focus on that one lady, and I'm not defending her because I don't fucking defend people. I don't defend people based on color. Okay, she a brown woman. Well, she ain't no friend of mine. If I ever need something, I couldn't call her, so I ain't fucking defending nobody that I can't call in a time of need. I don't care if she's a brown woman. But I do know that people focused on her house in L.A. and her 3 houses in L.A. How much money did George Soros make? How much money went to the fucking Democrats to help them with that fucking election because they had to raise money? How much money went to that? And people allow media to dictate how they think. Yeah, that lady got money. Yeah, she got paid. All of those girls got paid. But who got paid the most money? This is not to let them off the fucking hook. I'm just saying who got paid the most money. But media is brainwashing people to only look at one particular person. I want to look at who got the most fucking money, and I don't think it's no doggone brown woman either. I don't think she's the one that got the most money. I think it's between George Soros and these freaking other Democrats, because that stuff happened right around election time when they need to raise some damn money. That's why his family ain't never saw the doggone no money. But anyway, I really hope this stuff don't happen again. I get a feeling that another brown woman is gonna get killed as a ritual, as a sacrifice. She might really be killed though. Like a lot of these brown men, they were killed for real. And they get killed as a sacrifice to help these motherfuckers raise money during these elections, and it goes to wherever else it goes to, but the families don't ever see shit. They never see whatever justice they supposed to get. And I'm sick of these families acting like they not getting no justice. I heard Trayvon Martin's family, parents got paid handsomely after his death. He was sacrificed. Okay, but they still get online acting like they got no justice. They got paid handsomely. What are they talking about, no justice? They got paid. They got bank. He was sacrificed. I don't know about Mike Brown, but I know Trayvon Martin. I mean, Mike Brown was sacrificed too, but I don't know if his mother got any money. But I do know Trayvon Martin's parents got a lot of money. So I don't know what this fussing going on talking about no justice when they got some fucking money. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it was in the millions that they got. You know, you gotta know that even when somebody's your parent, they don't fucking care about you. I've had people raise me. The woman that raised me, my mother, I don't call her that anymore. She sacrificed me in a second, and she still tried. If she's still, I don't know if she's still alive. I haven't talked to her. But yeah, they tried to sacrifice me. I want you to talk to how many people that know their mother or know their family tried to sacrifice them. I've talked to a few people that know their family tried to sacrifice them. Parents ain't shit, hardly. I mean, you have some good parents, but I don't believe that somebody's parents will not sacrifice their own child. I can't do the fairy tales no more. That's why I'm not a light worker. Because I feel like people want to believe in fairy tales. Okay? I can't do the fairy tales. There's a lot of parents that's willing to sacrifice their child. It's not too out there to believe that Trayvon Martin's parents set his ass up and got his ass sacrificed and got paid handsomely. It's not too hard to believe that. It shouldn't be too hard to believe that. In this day and time where we hear sacrifices left and right, it shouldn't be hard to believe that that motherfucker was set up as a sacrifice. I think he was one of the ones that got this thing kicked off with the Black Lives Matter. I think that was what those ladies said, those founders said. It started with him. He was one of the ones that got it kicked off. He was sacrificed. Okay, because George Soros funded Black Lives Matter, he was a sacrifice to kick this stuff off. To kick off Black Lives Matter and have that whole agenda going. He was a sacrifice for it. Now, I don't know if they're going to bring Black Lives Matter back for the brown women, because I don't know if people are going to remember that the motherfuckers are thieves. I don't know if people are going to choose to remember that, or are they going to choose to forget it. To not pay any more attention to Black Lives Matter because they asses are just taking the fucking money. It ain't going towards folks' families. I don't know if people are going to remember that. I just don't know. Okay? But anyway, that's it, and I'll talk later.